One of my 4-pound chihuahuas, she thinks she's so ferocious, all of her 4 pounds. And, she'll bark at big dogs across the street. And I'm looking at her and going, really, come on. You're going to start an issue. The dog's going to get really mad. And then when they come towards her, she gets all goofy. She does, we call it we call it a butt scooch. Her butt just kind of tucks underneath, and she does this kind of hop like a jackrabbit. It's really pathetic. It's almost embarrassing. So I usually just pick her up and I'm like, come on, let's go. Hi, baby boy. What's your name, honey? Huh? Gosh, I think my first dog that I recall was a black lab puppy, but it was too much for my family, and we rehomed it. And then when I was in my teens, I had a little Shih Tzu kind of Lhasa Apso mix, really nice dog. Then I got my very, very first pit bull puppy, and she was a great, great dog. Very family oriented, but she was dog aggressive, under socialized, not house trained. I mean, I was 13, and it was my responsibility to take care of the dog, and I didn't really know how to do it. But she loved the family, and eventually my parents separated and we had to get rid of her. But she was a great dog, and that was my very, very first bonding moment with an actual dog in my teen years. And then in my 20s, I had cats. So, and that's when I started volunteering here.
I came to the shelter in June, and she really helped me out starting out, because it's not a tough job looking after the cats, but it can be stressful, and it's also very different, especially for me, who's only owned pretty much young to adult cats, never handled kittens before. But yeah, she really helps everyone out. She has a lot of patience. She's really sweet. She knows all the animals by name.
Part-time position opened up, and I tried to apply for it, and I got it. The only experience I had was my own pets and volunteering here. Then they sent me up to the academy for almost 2 weeks, and the rest is pretty much hands-on training. So it's you can't be taught how to catch a dog. It's trial and error.
We have a lot of really nice animals, really, really nice animals. Mrs. Murphy is a good example because she's been here for a long time.
Mrs. Murphy was probably in her double digits. I want to say she's at least 12 plus. Kind of overweight kitty, but that's okay. She moved real slow, and her meow was an ack. She was perfectly content. We were really hoping she'd get adopted, but some of us kind of suspected she'd probably live out her days here. But this really nice lady came in and adopted her. We told her send pictures. We want to know how she's doing. She's not a young spring chicken kind of cat, but we adopt out all ages cats if they're healthy, behavior wise. We'll let them stay here as long as they want.
Oh dear. I know that they're not entirely no kill, but they only kill if either they're really suffering and they need to be put down, or if just that there's no other option, it's a last resort.
Well, initially I was like most people. I kind of had a negative image of an animal shelter. A lot of people still do it to this day. A lot of people think that we put everything to sleep that comes in this door. Working here, you have to be here to understand how shelters and rescues work. Unfortunately, I came to the realization after volunteering here that not every one of the animals, even though you want them to be saved, some animals just don't thrive in shelters. They just don't. Some get really depressed. They stop eating. And if there's not a rescue group outside of the shelter willing to take them, or, if there's no interest in them and they stop dropping weight, you have to look at what's best for the animal. Do we just let the animal just sit there and, we can't force him to eat, so we have to look at the hard, times when animals that are fearful, and sometimes they will come out of that fear and perk up. But some of them are so fearful, aggressive, that all they want to do is just bite you.
They are really, really passionate about finding these animals good homes. So they have a lot of great facilities, and all these animals get a lot of love. I mean, I only wish that they could be in homes, but the home that they have right now is perfect for now.
Whoever's listening, please spay or neuter your animals. We always have financial aid to people who really cannot afford it. But please, if you can afford it, please don't avail of the financial aid. We need money ourselves.
It controls the pet population. Right now, we have a lot of Chihuahuas. A lot. If people would just spay and neuter, most of the shelters would not be overrun with, right now, Chihuahuas and Pit Bulls. They're so cute. I just want my dog to have just one litter. My kids want my Chihuahua to have one, babies, because they'd make cute babies. That's kind of the theme that we see here. But they're cute when they're little, but they do get big, and if they're not raised properly, they get behavior issues, and most of the time, they end up here at the shelter. The shelter just helped me deal with animals issues in general. I used to cry at documentaries, and still do, all National Geographic documentaries. I don't want to see anything bad happen to the gazelles going and crossing the river. It's reality. It's unfortunately nature. Yes, man has caused a lot of these issues with overpopulation of domestic animals, but some of the animals that we deal with are wildlife, and unfortunately, we do see natural injuries. I don't want to see it, but it does happen. I do pick up the injured animal and we'll take it to wildlife rescue. That's nature just in my face. I can't ignore it. So it has to help me deal with animals issues, personal and in professional life. Most of the animals that come here are stray. A good portion are also owner surrender. For one reason or another.
They lost their house, they can't care for them, they're allergic to the dog or the cat, personal reasons, and then we find dogs or cats that are strays, that are like wandering in the streets, and then we care for them, and then if they're fit for adoption, we spay and neuter them.
He was dumped at the front door. He had a broken back leg in multiple places, and the vet felt that couldn't save it. So his leg was amputated, it was a back leg, and I brought him home to foster for about 4 weeks, about 3 months ago. He's not left. He loves his big brother Chihuahua. He'll sidle up to his 9-pound Chihuahua, like protect me, and here's this ferocious pit bull. But he's probably one of the better poster childs for pit bulls because he loves everybody. We have no issues with that dog. None. He does get a little teeny bit mouthy, but he's learning not to lick and nip. Lick and nip. You're like, what is that? Do you have to lick so much that you have to like almost nip me? We call it teething. So he's kind of stick a toy in his mouth. Here, play with that instead. But anyway, he's great. It doesn't even faze him at all that his back leg is missing.
Oh, we probably like
look at that belly. Look at that belly. All right, little guy. This is his little snuggle bunny. He cuddles with it. It's so cute.
Why is he here?
I don't know why they put him in here. I think they thought maybe I guess he was a little feisty when he first came in.
Oh.
And thin. But he seems to be doing okay.